Hi everyone, this is AmSwim40 from AngryBirdsNest.com. Today I'm going to be looking at some advanced strategies for using the mighty Space Eagle. Now, on Angry Birds Nest already, there are plenty of posts that I'll link to that explain what the Space Eagle does, what platforms it's available for, how much it costs, things like that. But here I'm just going to look at pure gameplay, how it actually works. So the first thing we're going to do is look at how the Space Eagle actually behaves. Now with the Mighty Eagle, you remember that the Mighty Eagle would swoop in from the top corner, come down, hit the ground, and then bounce back up in this really nice looking V. Now in space that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's no real sense of up and down, right? You know, if you look at this level, up is technically up this way. So, what would the Mighty Eagle swoop down and bounce off the ground here and then go up this way? It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So, instead, the Space Eagle actually behaves quite a bit like the bomb bird. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss the sardine can into the middle here. You'll see that the sardine can is still pretty bouncy, but I can actually manually trigger this wormhole. Otherwise, about 2 seconds after impact, the wormhole will automatically emerge. So you can do it manually, or you can just wait, either way. And you see that the Space Eagle, when it emerges, it really pushes blocks out of the way. It doesn't do a whole lot of destruction on its own. It causes chaos, which leads to things being destroyed. A couple other nice features. Hopefully you noticed when I actually launched the sardine can, keep an eye up here in the top right. You see this feather, and as chaos ensues and as blocks are destroyed, the feather begins to fill up. Now I'm only somewhere around maybe 60%, maybe a little bit more on that meter, but you'll see, since I have these two birds left over, they actually contribute to my Eagle High score. So this really demonstrates a whole lot of importance with having birds left over. Well, I thought I had 100% there, but apparently only 99. So you really want to go through and, in general, use a sardine can with your first shot. This isn't true for every level, but it's true in the majority of them. To use a sardine can on your first shot, hope for a lot of destruction. If you think you have enough, take these birds in hand. But I could go either way here. Let's look at another level. I'm going to look at level 218. This is in Cold Cuts. Now, there's a couple of things that I'd like to demonstrate here. First is, you should always do a dry run. Whenever you come across a new level and you're trying to earn the feather, you should do a dry run to try to get a handle for where you actually want to put the sardine can and what angle you would really need to shoot. Now, I'd like to get a sardine can, let's say right in here, between the first two structures. That's not going to be a very easy shot. You can see that the scope doesn't really show me the entire way. So I think that this looks like a good angle. It's actually going to be a little too far. But now I know that. Well, I came pretty close to a top score there, if only that pig popped. Anywho, so now that I kind of have an idea of what angle I would like to shoot at, now I'll use the Space Eagle. So now I want to keep it lower than I had it before. I think right about there. Well, that's almost identical, but it's still got kind of low, and you see that the Space Eagle still causes a whole lot of destruction. But now I'm faced with a bit of a conundrum here. Now you can see that my number of Space Eagles is going down as I use them. Since they're decaying, you're faced with a little bit of a decision here. Do you want to just go ahead and destroy the remaining pigs using Terrans? If you do, you could earn the you could earn the feather, you could not. It's going to be a bit close. If you're not as worried, I can use another Space Eagle. And it's really not much of an issue. Let me get it over here. This time I'll manually trigger it since it looked like it was bouncing away. And now there's really no doubt in my mind that I earned this feather. While it's not completely full, it's pretty close, I'm going to get a bonus for having one bird left over, and that makes things a whole lot easier. So this really shows a couple things. One, it might be worthwhile to use a second sardine can instead of trying to finish off a level with normal birds. Like I said, I could have tried using Terrence to finish off that level. I could have earned the feather, but if I didn't, I would have had to start over from scratch and use a couple more sardine cans. So in the short term, you're using more sardine cans. In the long term, you could end up saving yourself some money. Now, I believe that using regular birds to attempt to totally destroy a level is always a good idea. I think it's probably the biggest strategy that you can use with the Space Eagle. Not only will it save you time, not only will it save you money, but it can also avoid a whole lot of frustration. So just to grind this idea home, this is level 227. Now, if I wanted, I could try what? Where do I really want to attack this level? It's really not clear. I think I could try to go all the way around the entire level and end up near here and see what happens. Right? This is basically the way that you try to earn 3 stars anyways. If I destroyed that pig, I would have. But is that really the best strategy to use the Space Eagle? Or do we think it could be better to go through and shoot the bird very softly and keep it along this first planet and end up somewhere over here? It's a real big question. Now, I think that you could end up, you have to factor in, with the Space Eagle, I'm probably going to blow up this TNT no matter what. Right? If I can get the Space Eagle here, when it emerges from the wormhole, it's going to destroy this TNT. That's why I think that's a better strategy here. It's different from the 3-star strategy, but I think if I can get a good shot here, and I can sit it right along the edge, aha. Well now, that's actually quite interesting. Where I thought that this was going to be a very good strategy, and I thought I was guaranteed to detonate that TNT, I really only got this kind of minor shock wave that resulted in destroying some of this top structure. And I don't think I'm going to get it. So instead, maybe I should have realized that since I didn't have much destruction with the laser bird, that this really has to be the best strategy. The regular 3-star strategy, to loop the sardine can the entire way around the planet, keep it on the near side, let it expand here, and as long as I hit that TNT, I don't think there's any doubt anymore, this has got to be worth the feather. So using 3-star strategies and really just seeing what happens when you use normal birds can really be one of the best things you do. Here I took a chance, I tried to see what would happen with a different strategy, and what perhaps seemed obvious, that it didn't look like there was going to be a whole lot of destruction, turned out to be true. You might as well just use the same strategy. If a normal bird causes a lot of destruction, the Space Eagle should do even more. Another good thing to keep in mind is to keep the Space Eagle almost away from ground level. It can be helpful, especially when out in space, outside of gravitational fields, so that it will push things into gravitational fields so that they'll hit planets and so that they will be destroyed. That's another very good strategy. But in some planets, it's good to get the Space Eagle down at the bottom, especially if there's really all gravity, if it's almost like a normal level. So that way you can get things off the ground and then they come tumbling back down to the surface of the planet. While there's a lot more strategies that I could show with the Space Eagle, I'm a little bit short on time. I don't want this video to go on for too long. Feel free to leave some other strategies and comments on this post. I'll be back soon with some more guides, some more lessons in the Angry Birds classroom. Take care, everybody.